Today on the show, we get into our season preview, talk about schedule, promotion, and the beauties of life with Elaine Shircliff, with Graced by Rain. Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome to Season 3 of the Griffins Pipeline Podcast and Season 30 of Grand Rapids Griffins Hockey. We are a podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network, and we are sponsored by DraftKings. I'm one of your hosts, Connor.
And I'm the other host, Kyle. Our show brought to you by the fans, for the fans. We are not officially partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins or Detroit Red Wings. We do this show just to bring a fan perspective to a podcast so others can hear.
Yeah, we're pretty much just die-hard fans who really enjoy the community and making it bigger. I mean, we get all these autographs and we like to give some away. You know, we like to give part of the experience to people who can't get it. So we do these giveaways, and we have a Carter MAZUR giveaway coming up. It has a puck and poster, both signed. And to enter that, you can go to our social media pages. You just go to our featured section and you find the post and you follow our page, and then comment your favorite player on there, and then you'll be entered in the drawing, and you might be a winner of a Carter MAZUR puck. So check that out. Then also we have a call-in line, us being a fan podcast. We're trying to get a little more of a fan perspective going on. We did this our first year, and it was pretty fun. There's really funny calls, and they made us laugh. The number is 616-319-1175. And you pretty much call that in. You make up a funny name, and then you just talk Griffins, and then you hang up when you're done. And every month we'll be doing a puck giveaway and a call-in giveaway. The call-ins will be for tickets, and the pucks will just be like and follow us on wherever we are. And if you want extra entries, like and subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most exciting things about being a season ticket member is how much of the stuff that you actually acquire from the Griffins and the giveaways. And we, like Connor said, we get a lot of it. Once you're a season ticket member, you accumulate a lot of it. So it's fun to give some of that back. Maybe some of the people that aren't right here in Grand Rapids don't get to go to a lot of games. They end up with some good stuff in their hands. So if you want some good Griffins memorabilia or merchandise, make sure you follow along and kind of stay tuned to what we got posted on the giveaways. We're going to try to be really active with that this season. So
yeah, so before we get into the interview with Elaine Shircliff, we're going to real quick talk about how we got started as a podcast. So we started it was around the pandemic season, we really got into listening to podcasts, kind of like the Winged Wheel podcast and Locked On Red Wings. And we just started really trying to find a Griffins podcast, and there wasn't one. There was like an official Bob Kaiser one, and then there was a Griffins Nest. And after COVID, those all kind of disappeared, and we were kind of like, oh, we need the Griffins podcast. We should do it. And it actually turned out that I was sitting there on Facebook one day and I saw a post on Facebook, does anyone want to do a Griffins podcast? So I responded, and we got a response from the Octocast. It's a Red Wings podcast that pretty much talks about Red Wings, and we were going to update them for the Griffins. So we started updating them for the Griffins, and then we decided, this is really fun. I got Kyle doing it with me, and we decided, hey, maybe we should go on our own way and start an actual Griffins podcast. And that we did, and here we are, and it's now our excuse to hang out with each other.
Yeah, and it's been a fun, long journey. We've learned a lot. Every time, you start getting into something like this, you only know so much, and then you realize how much you don't know. So I'm sure a lot of the fans listening in, we learn along the way. It's been a great ride. We're always trying to improve and make this a better show. I mean, starting back in the day, sitting up in the suites for Cub Scouts, watching Daryl Bootland beat the snot out of people, that inspires you to carry this kind of just a journey of watching, following preaching hockey because it's fun and it's always something to talk about with your coworkers, your friends, your family. Just a great topic, great hobby, and skating on the ice is something that I'll never get sick of. Always putting the skates on, so can't leave hockey. And rooting for the local hometown team here in Grand Rapids
Yeah.
is just something you can't pass up. This great connection we have with Detroit Red Wings, and just being a part of it, and knowing that this thing's basically started when I was born, and that it's just been a really good culture here in Grand Rapids for my whole time of growing up here in Grand Rapids. So definitely feel like doing a podcast was the right thing. There's, like you said, there was like the Griffin's Nest, and Bob Kaiser had his show. There was the Calder Farmstead that was good to follow, but there's really just not that much information out there on the AHL and some of the just, I guess, the Griffins in general. And now look, there's 3 different podcasts for Griffin, so it's fun and it's growing. And yeah, I'm glad to be along with it. So
Yeah, I mean, you can't really beat the opportunity to meet some of these first round picks from Detroit Red Wings. At half the price, you get to experience your hometown team. It's just an absolute fun time. You got cheap beer nights, $2 beers, $2 dogs every Friday. You got promotions. You got all the specialty jerseys. We're gonna go over that with Elaine here. It's gonna be a real fun one. So yeah, before we bore you on our lives, yeah, we'll get into this interview with Elaine Shircliff. Let's go Griffins. Let's have a good 30 season. So today we have Elaine Shircliff on the show. She's a writer for the Grand Rapids Griffins, and she has her own website called Grace by Rain and podcast and goes over a bunch of really good sports. How are you doing, Elaine?
I'm good. How are you guys today?
doing good. Great to have you on. We're super excited to talk to you about Grand Rapids Griffins today. We'd like to kind of dive into what you do with the Griffins, what you see for the year, what's kind of going on, and we'll definitely got to cover the schedule and promotions for the fans this year. So
Definitely. The promotions are great this year. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I gotta say, headlining is that Detroit Pistons hoops for hockey jersey. Got the nice
Yeah.
tee. That thing is so cool.
yeah, so we'll go ahead. I think first things first, we'll talk about you, Elaine. What got you into the Grand Rapids Griffins? Why do you cover them and write for them? And we'll kind of go down that and see what you kind of come up with.
Well, for starters, my mom is a really big Red Wings fan. She has been her whole life. So even though I lived in the Cleveland area, she was very annoying about the Griffins and the and the Wings. So that was fun. So I'm because I was such a big Monsters fan before I started covering them. I'm a big know your enemy kind of person. So I already knew like a ton about the Griffins because I was like, if I'm going to chirp them, it better be funny and factual. Like, I don't want to look like an idiot if I'm going to chirp your team. And then COVID hit, and I had the opportunity to cover all 6 teams in the Central, which included the Monsters that year, that 21 season. And everything was by Zoom, except the Monsters got to have in-person games a few months in because the arena was so large. But the Griffins were like so great to work with. And, Ben Simon was coach, and I watched him play when he was in high school. So I was like, this is great. Like, let's keep it going. And that's just kind of how and they were so wonderful to me. So I just kept covering them alongside the Monsters. And when I finally came in person, it was during Ben Simon's last season, about that February, I think it was. And I pulled into Grand Rapids, the city, and was like, oh, shoot, like, I like it here. And now I live here. So
There you go.
here we are.
Yep, it's a very fun city. It's a beautiful city, and I love it. Beer city capital. I mean, it's a fun time. Well, also, you have your own website and your own outlet. It's called Grace by Rain. I see you just got an LLC and everything, so that's really cool. Want to tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I actually started Grace by Rain. I started it as a podcast right before COVID or like during the height of COVID. It just started as a podcast, not about sports. It was just about finding the beauty in life. And because there just seemed to be so much like ugly, I wanted to remind people that there's so many beautiful things and they don't have to be big, like small things. I think I did a whole episode on like, it wasn't long, but I remember I talked about like flowers and clouds. Like I sounded probably like insane. But it was just like the little things that like make life worth living and beautiful. And then it became a website. I don't remember how far into it because people were like, just, do your creative writing there, put your photography up there. So I was like, whatever, fine, like just to get them off my back. It ended up being the best decision because I was writing for a place called Full Press, which I enjoyed writing for. And I was actually like making money. And they let me cover things like the WJC trial. They paid for me to go to like all-star games. Like it was just a great time. But then it was actually April 1st. So I thought it was April Fool's Day at first. They'd lost like our sponsors. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
and I was like, right. I was like, what a joke. Like, this is awful. Right. But it was true.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I decided then at that point, I was like, I don't want to work for free for anyone but me. It was just, I just didn't want to do it. Yep. So I left and I started putting stuff up on Graced by Rain. And I reached out to a lot of places and was like, hey, by the way, like, can I just finish the season? Just let me finish the season while I figure out what's next. Maybe I'll go somewhere else. I'm not sure. I just kind of need a break. Like, this is just what I need to do. And this was the summer, not last season, but the summer leading into last season. I was like, I gotta need to figure out what's next. Every team said yes, from the PWHL to the Olympics to every team said yes except for the Monsters, which I had been covering for many years. Yes. But I mean, I know when I tell people that, they get upset, but they have rules and they actually follow their rules. And there's no wiggle room. And I actually kind of appreciate that. I mean, it hurt because I was like, I've been around forever. Like, what are we doing? But at that time, I had been dealing with so many people and doing so many interviews. Like, I covered the Blackhawks case. I covered WJC. Like, there were so many people who were wiggle rooming around the rules. And that's when problems really start to happen. And so I actually kind of appreciated that you have rules and you stick to them and you have standards. It hurt, but I understood. And so I got an LLC and I didn't even know if that would like work. But the Monsters were like, oh yeah, here you go. You can come back. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. So that's kind of like how it became a business per se. I mean, I don't make money right now. I'm just more focused on the content aspect and trying to bring stories to everyone that they don't get to see about these minor league teams or things that you just normally, like when I'm going to start covering the Olympics here more, but it's going to be different than the way people see it. It's not going to be like your main coverage. And I'm really going to focus on the Paralympics because that's some really cool stuff. And I want people to appreciate all aspects. And there's so much passion in like the minor leagues or in the Paralympics. And there's obviously passion in the Olympics too. I'm not, saying there isn't, but there's just like a different vibe in each of those things. And I want people to see like the cool stuff from it. So that's kind of how I use my website and my podcast is just to show people this other side of things that they don't typically see.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we kind of like doing too. Like showing people how like cool of an actual thing the AHL and the minors is. Like some people look right over top of it, and it's really some of the funnest time. It's like a quarter the price of like going to the NHL. I mean, you can enjoy your time, and it's just an absolute blast. And here in Grand Rapids, obviously, we got like 4 first-round picks coming, possibly. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I think what's funny to me too is like you never know what you're gonna get in the AHL, right? Never, never ever. Like I just remember, I remember the one year, I think it was New Year's Eve maybe or somewhere around there, and the Griffins they just rolled like 11 and 5 or something, or 10 and 5, because they had to, between there was a suspension and there was injuries, and just when they thought they had it, like the Wings called someone up, and I didn't know what was going on because I was so far removed being in Ohio. And I asked Ben after the game, and he was like, yeah, so like this guy's sick and this guy got called up. He's like, this is what's going to play too next time we play, because I don't know if all the people are going to be back. And I'm like, that's so crazy because you won. Like, you won and you played so well. And you see that all the time in the minors, especially in the AHL. Like, they'll roll with like a 10-5 and you're like, how are you functioning? Or like 11-7 and you're like,
11-7 a lot.
Yeah. Where like the Monsters used to always just put a defender on, a lot of the times put him on as a 4th line forward. Dylan Simpson was like a first pair, sometimes second. And then all of a sudden, like one game, he was like second line. He was the second line winger. And I was like, what is happening? And he played so well. And I was like, did we unlock something here?
Yeah, if it fits, it sits, right?
Right, exactly. Like maybe suit him up too for a goalie. Stevie Yzerman might actually sign him because he loves goalies.
Oh yeah, we could talk about that. Oh man. All right, so yeah, you covering a lot of these teams. I really appreciate the aspect you do cover, the human aspect of the game. You cover, like you said, a lot of these different views that most people are coming in. They just want the stats, the facts, and what happened. But a lot of the times, it is those little things outside, behind the scenes, that really make the whole sport and like a culture, right? Like each team has its own culture and its own fan base and how things run. And you kind of are able to see all across, like you said, the Central Division here and all those different brands of hockey. So what one, I guess, obviously you're Griffins and Cleveland Monsters, but of the other 5 there, you spend any considerable amount of time at their facilities and their buildings? Is there one you like in particular?
So I have spent a lot of time in Chicago at Allstate and also Milwaukee's barn. I love Milwaukee's barn so much. Like, it's so great. And I don't think people understand how great the Central Division is in general. Like, just the people that are running those organizations. I mean, John Greenberg is the president or he's the vice president. Oh shoot. He's my friend, and if he's gonna listen to this, he's gonna be like, Elaine, how do you not know my position? But he's for the Admirals, and gosh, he's such a good human, right? Like, he's such a good human, and you can see that in the players as well. And I mean, like, I love the Wolves. They don't care if they're affiliated with anyone or not. They just want to play hockey. They just want to have a hockey team. Like, that's what they want. They love being in the AHL. I also like that barn a little bit. It's just a lot of hallways. Like, you go a hallway, and then there's like a concourse, and there's like a hallway, a lot of corners. Being on press row the first time, I was like slightly terrified because my friends and I did a rewatch of like a whole bunch of the Final Destination movies. And then you get sat in a press row that's like at the top of the stands, and there's fire everywhere. Like, your brain kind of goes a lot of places.
Yeah.
And the roof, and the roof is like part wood, and you're like, how is this thing not burned down? Like,
looking for an escape.
A lot of questions.
Yes, I had I was like, man, But they're both great places to watch a game, in my opinion. I've never been to Rockford. I'm gonna go obviously hopefully for the All-Star game. So that'll be a nice little kind of thing. But my favorite barn to go to in all of the AHL is definitely in Syracuse at the On Center, the War Memorial.
Nice.
Yeah, like it's so great. And there's like that history of Slapshot some of the scenes being shot there, and like you just sit there, especially if you sit in the end, which is like there's a stage and then there's seats in front of it. That's, in my opinion, the best place to sit. The most terrifying place to sit is press row, because it's like hung up, and I think it's held together by like prayers and pixie dust. And like,
He does.
Yeah.
That red green come in there and fix it with duct tape.
Probably. I mean, if it works, it works. I'm not even gonna like, Laval also has a really cool barn. God, Laval's, it's loud.
Oh.
The loudest one I've ever been to outside of, Cleveland, which Cleveland I put on a different level than everyone just because it's so much bigger than everyone else's. I don't think it's fair to judge it with a lot of the other ones. Laval is hands down the like loudest barn I've ever been in outside of Cleveland. Like, it's insane.
Okay.
They were so great at the All-Star. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously you've been to Cleveland probably more than any other stadium, I'd guess.
Way more. Like, felt like I lived there.
And you said there's like 20,000 seats available.
It's like a little under 20, I think, or like a little under 19,000 or somewhere. Like, it's a big bar. I mean, it's where the Cleveland Cavs play. Yep. So, I mean, the Cavaliers are big in Ohio in general. So they got to make. I mean, LeBron played there. He's not playing in a small. He's not playing in a small arena. You know what I mean?
Heck no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. That's good stuff to know. We like to hear about what's going around the league, and knowing that Laval's the loudest barn. I mean, we might have to go out there and experience it someday.
Oh, heck yeah.
So
having them play any team that's like a Canadian oriented team, especially like the Toronto Marlies. Oh my gosh, they get like they hate them. They hate the like Canadian teams, but especially like maybe Belleville and Toronto. They get extra loud for them. Like when those guys are introduced, Joseph Wall is like the sweetest, kindest like person you'll ever meet. He's so funny, and he gets introduced at this All-Star game, and they were just mercilessly booing this man. Like, this is so loud. I was like, this is louder than when like the Ravens come back to play the Browns. Like, this is insane. Man. And this is an All-Star game, not a game that matters.
Almost louder than the Gary Bettman boos.
Oh, definitely. The boos have gotten really dampened lately. Like, too many people, we've lost the lore. Like, he's such a good guy. Oh, he's so nice. Oh, what did he do wrong? He might not have done a lot of things wrong, but, once you start the booing, you can't turn back. Like, this is now a thing, and he enjoys it. It feeds his soul. Like, it's good for everyone if we boo.
Yeah. What did he do wrong? But, hey, what did he do right either, All righty. So, to get into the Griffin side of things a little bit, we'll talk about your part in the media. So what do you do exactly for the Grand Rapids Griffins now? And what do you plan to do for the season?
Yeah, so I'm actually changing so much of what I do because I'm not burnt out anymore. I don't work for the federal government anymore. So like my mind is not completely broken all the time. And I'm only covering one team. Like I'm only covering the Griffins. That's it. I missed the way that I used to cover the Monsters, where like I could tell you if a player was going to shoot based on how they were skating, because they have those little ticks, right? Like those little things. So I want to get back to really not analyzing, because sometimes you can overanalyze a game.
Oh yeah.
But I just want to get back to the one team and doing things like my way per se, I guess. I used to just like, I'd never wanted my podcast to be like sports oriented, but it's such a part of who I am that like it always veers toward it. So this year I'm actually having a segment once a week that's like the beauty of the Griffins. And I will go through that week something that I found from either the fans, a foundation thing, or what happened on the ice, or a quote or something that I found super beautiful about the Griffins. I think that's a I think it's a different way to bring people in, because you're gonna see the stats. You're gonna like, I'm gonna write post game recaps. I'm gonna have weekly recaps, monthly recap kind of thing too, where like I put links in for people who are talking about, like, I want a community of people here in Grand Rapids. So I want people to feel like something that they said is important, especially if it's good and important. It's going to go in that article. Yeah, like that's how it should be. And I want to focus more on the best I can on articles that are like more feature-esque. Like I'm dropping an article here in the next week about Amadeus Lombardi and his faith. I interviewed him in May about it, and then also in February. It's I know it's a long time, but I needed to make sure I was in the right place to write it. And you know, I work for a Catholic church now, so I will literally sit in the sanctuary like working on it, like, God, please make sure I'm using the right words here. Is this right? Is this right? Is this okay? Am I glorifying you? Is this happening? So I put a lot of work into it, probably a little bit too much work into it. But those are the kind of things I want to talk about. But I know that some of these players, it's not like when I first covered the team and I talked to them all the time because it was Zoom, and I would request like 6 guys to talk to, like, and I would ask them literally anything. And I haven't been there, you know, really much since it went away from Zoom. So a lot of the guys don't really know who I am. And so I want to be able to create that relationship to tell the personal side, because that affects how they play on the ice. Like Amo's faith drives him so much that like when he was recovering from injury, he leaned on God so much to keep him in the right mindset. And so every person has a different story like that, whether it be their religion or not, whether it's their family, like Dominic Shine and his family. I wrote about his bobblehead, and it turned into this discussion about how the support of his family means so much more than that bobblehead. And I was like, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Wasn't gonna like, you know, like I just let them come to me with it. If you want to say it, then I'll go with it. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. Now, the other thing is I always used to post my outfits for game day, but Van Andel doesn't have a big mirror. Like they don't have a full length mirror anywhere. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? So I'm trying to figure out, I might just be like, go up to fans and be like, can I take a picture of you? And then we could talk about your outfit. Like, tell me about like, tell me about your jersey. Like, I'm trying to still figure that out because I don't know what the fan base is like. I created a family with the Cleveland fans, like a literal family. There was a lot of crying at my last game in March. I bet. Because and we also all really, like, we already were kind of a family, but then after Matisse passed, like, it was more so like, because he was so with the fans, he loved the fans like so much. And so a lot of the fans had personal relationships with him too. So we all, you know, we bonded. And I don't have that with the Griffins fans, which if you're not there, you're not going to be able to cultivate those relationships. So I don't know how Griffins fans would be if I was like, hey, tell me about your jersey. What are you wearing today? Like it's the freaking red carpet.
They're like, leave me alone.
They take their $2 beers and run away.
Right? I don't blame them.
I think I would hope that someone would have a good time if you asked them. You got to get the Elaine whiteout going. Get everyone wearing all white on one half of the stadium. You know.
Okay, that would be sweet. Let's be honest. Like having a whiteout.
Yeah, let's get a whiteout going.
Get a whiteout going.
Yes, but not against a team that wears white though. ever.
No.
Like
Right. Gold out.
I could just see like they would have a whiteout and then it would be right after, you switch the jerseys halfway through the season or something.
Yeah,
And like the monsters would freaking show up in their whites.
Yeah.
Like all the monsters fans would be there because they travel to watch that team like no other.
We got the memo.
Right. Like shoot. Gotta be a team that like does not care about white. Or maybe like a nice little red out,
Red out.
Yeah.
I don't think we
why
can do
not?
the gold because I don't think anyone has a gold shirt.
No.
No.
They're probably hard to find.
And it's
No,
like a specific color of gold that's really hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be planned though. Like everyone has to do it, right? Otherwise, it just looks scattered like normal.
Right. They should do a blackout for the monsters did a blackout. It didn't go like for Black Friday. It didn't really. A lot of people didn't get that memo. But I think that Van Andel, because it's a smaller fan base, you could get the word. I mean, like for how many people fit in the arena, I think you could get the word out a little bit faster. And it's also Teddy Bear Toss Night. So you could be like Teddy Bear Toss Night, Blackout Night, wear all black.
Yeah.
Griffins, if you're listening, free idea from us right now.
Yes.
Also had some pretty cool black pads last
And
year.
have
I think he sold them though.
Black shirt giveaway to the first fans. So like all those people get a black shirt and sell black shirts also.
Yeah.
If you didn't get a black shirt, you can buy a black shirt.
I do think the onus needs to come on the fans, though. Like, it's a blackout. I know there's black jerseys. I know there's black shirts, black hats. Like,
For sure.
Yeah.
you can do it. You can do it. You don't need a free giveaway to support the team.
When the fans do it, the team notices, right? And that brings
Exactly.
everyone together and it gets them involved.
We
So
can get Griff to guard the door if you're wearing like a white shirt. Like, nope, you're not coming in.
that would work.
Well, give them like a $5 coupon. Go buy yourself. Go buy yourself a black shirt.
It says, come on, man. I'm not mad, but I'm just disappointed. Go buy a shirt, 5% off.
Yep. I'm just disappointed.
It has like his face on there. It's like obviously a frown.
That would be amazing, actually. Griff and Sully are like very similar, and it cracks me up, except like Griff is a little bit less unhinged. But I bet you that if Griff and Sully the monsters like mascots got together, it would just be chaos, absolute chaos.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I don't think I've ever seen them in the same place. That's probably for the best.
You got
It would be like what?
the AHL All-Star mascots, right?
Oh gosh, that was actually, I'm gonna be real honest. That was probably my favorite part about the Laval All-Star game was the mascots, because some of them, it was cold. It was really cold. It was like negative like 17, and it was not Celsius. It was Fahrenheit. It was very cold. And they had a festival outside before the skills competition. There was like a red carpet walk-in, and there was this huge Ferris wheel. Okay. And some of the mascots went on the Ferris wheel and it got stuck for a little bit.
Oh boy.
They were like waving down at everyone, thinking that it's gonna move, and then it just stopped. And then you just like you could see, like, I could only imagine being in the suit and being like, this is how I go out. Like, is this what happens?
Final destination.
Yeah, exactly. But they're the best part of the All-Star game. I wish there was like a mascot race or something during the skills.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
It'd be so great. I would love it because they're just, I don't know. Mascots are the best part of sport.
They are. The guys that do it, I mean, give them all the credit, right?
Yeah. I was a mascot once, not for a team, like for my high school. And it was fun to just be obnoxious.
Yeah, the hype.
Yeah. I mean, you could see my face because we were the Warriors, and I dressed as a Native American, which was bad. Like I didn't realize it as a young kid. And my best friend is Native American. She never told me it was bad. She's like, I just let you do it. And I was like,
that was then.
Never run for office. Like I didn't know any better. But it was,
man.
It was so chaotic and fun to just like people just let you do whatever when you're the mascot.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
You get away with so much stuff. I was like, okay,
So
let's go.
my question is, what's the deal with Eric Zane and Griffin Finn? They're always fighting out there.
I
They're
don't know. Well, I mean, someone's got to have like an enemy, right? Like there has to be always. They probably secretly love you. They're probably like best friends.
I was starting to think that Griffin Finn listened to the Free Beer and Hot Wings show or something.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Well,
I would actually like to see that rivalry played up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's always funny. I brought one of my friends to the game, and he's just like, "Oh, look at they're beating up this guy." I was like, "That's Zane, man. That's Zane. Like that's the announcer."
It's like a love beating, right? Like that's probably what it is. Like,
Yeah,
like your little brother, you get him in that headlock, and you're like, "I love you, but I'm gonna beat the crap out of you."
Yeah, but you got to do your outfits. Share your game day outfit with Zane. He's always dressed fly. He's always in a nice suit.
I should. Well, and I have to change my game day outfits, which is like frustrating because in Cleveland I could wear like heels and like I would dress a little bit warmer, it would be fine. Because I just would go from press row to the elevator down, and that's it, right? Here, I have to walk down 7 flights of stairs and then walk across the arena underneath to get to the locker room. Some heels are fine, but like I have to amend all of my outfits because it's a lot of walking. Right. And people are usually walking behind us or in front of us that are like scouts or GMs from other teams or GMs from this team. Like, and I don't want to fall because I thought my cute heels were great to wear. Like, I don't want to fall and take one of them out. Like, oh, Sean Horkoff's on IR because one of our beat reporters fell down the stairs and took him out. Like, I don't want that. So I'm like, I've been going through my closet. Like, I can't wear that. I can't wear that. Can't wear those shoes. Can't wear those shoes. I'm like, what am I wearing this season? What am I doing? So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Well, because it'll be all over social media. I will post it everywhere.
There we go.
Like, yeah. We'll share it whenever we see it.
That's what I'll be known for. Forget the hockey analyst. She's got a cute outfit on. That's
Alrighty. So we could probably go ahead and start talking about the schedule and the promotions that come with it. Just to kind of dive into the schedule, it looks like another pretty straightforward event of a lot of divisional matchups, which pretty typical for the AHL. We get Cleveland still. It looks like a lot of games versus Cleveland still. And
the Checkers and the Marlies.
Yep, Checkers and Marlies.
That's it.
I think so, yeah. I like this schedule. A lot of people were like complaining. I mean, I don't like that they don't see more teams. I had thought that this was the season that the AHL was gonna have more teams being played against each other. But I feel like everyone kind of started going back to the way it was before the past 2 seasons, which is kind of a bummer. And that makes me laugh when people are like, let's have a preseason game. Why? So you can see them play for the 580,000th time against each other. Yeah. But I like the way the schedule is set up for the Griffins because Cleveland's schedule was so chaotic. Their day, like, there's never a game on a Monday. And I think for Tuesdays, it's either one game or it's 4 and it's away. And then on Thursdays, it's either one game. I have the Tuesdays and Thursdays swapped. I can't remember what it is. And all those games are away. So I can actually have a life while covering this team.
Yeah, that's
yeah. But I can't get into Cleveland to see the games because of the schedule. It's just so weird between those two. They play each other a lot on Wednesdays. And I was like, are you sure you want to play Cleveland on winning Wednesdays? Because it hasn't really worked out that well in the past. I mean, Trey's gone, but like
chances go up there.
We do. The chances go up through the moon. But you guys also don't have Timmy Gettinger, who also just balled out against Cleveland. So, like,
Yeah, Tim Gettinger. We're bringing in Edwards Traumax. We got our big guy replacement.
Oh.
We'll see how he does, but
I think he's going to do so great. I'm so excited about him. I've heard so many good things from him from people in Latvia. Like, oh my goodness. I'm pumped. I'm really pumped. My mom did point out, she's like, I love how you just went from one team of Latvians and then now you're going to another one. And I'm like, I do too, because they're great.
yeah, we'll miss Tim Gettinger as well. He did get to wear the A on his jersey before he left there last year while Dominic Shine was called up. And so, yeah, a little bit of respect there to Tim, and wish you luck across seas. He signed in Germany, I believe.
Was it? I think so. It was Germany. I think so. I have my list up. I don't know why. He he is, I mean, he's from Cleveland. Yeah, it was in Germany. Yeah, he's from Cleveland. I keep my eyes on as many people from Cleveland as possible, like from the city or the near the area. Because it's kind of cool because people are like, Cleveland's not a hockey town. Yes, it is. It's always been a hockey town.
Yeah.
Since the Barons and before. Like,
well, it used to be the Lake Erie Monsters too, right? Back when they started. So I always thought that was super cool. The Lake Erie Monsters kind of had a real nice ring to it.
I liked it better. I liked it better, but I didn't have a choice. I didn't get to put my say in. So they wanted something that was like more city oriented. When there was a lot of people that came in to cover the Calder Cup who didn't know a ton about like the AHL, but because it was such a big deal, that Cleveland was having such good luck in the playoffs that year, so people were keeping an eye on it. They were like, Lake Erie, oh, we thought that was Buffalo. And I was like, is this a thing? Is this serious? And I thought they were kidding, but they were like, I started talking to other writers and they're like, yeah, the first time I ever went, I was like, oh, you're sending me to Cleveland? Like, I thought I was going to Buffalo. And I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It is what it is. But I thought Lake Erie had a nicer ring to it.
Oh, yeah, I did too. I like that.
Yeah. The logo is sweet, though.
It's sweet.
So I did notice on the schedule, too, we have the Texas Stars to start the season at Texas. So a rematch to get some revenge on them guys because they obviously kicked us out of the playoffs this year.
Yeah. I was surprised Texas didn't go farther. To be honest, I thought this would be their year. Them or Abbotsford, who did win it. Because, like, Texas is just, they're always a good team. And I tell people if they start out not strong, you can't underestimate them. Like, they might start out strong, they might start out slow, and then all of a sudden they just slowly build up steam because they spend the first like month or two of the season really working on the fundamentals and making sure everyone understands the fundamentals. And if you are good at the fundamentals, you can add whatever else you want to it. Like you can have amazing power plays like they had because they could easily switch from fundamentals to flashy to fundamentals to flashies in one play or like one series of plays. So I just didn't want to see them right away.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's just too much.
And then another thing I noticed too is we don't play Milwaukee till like December.
Right. What is that? That's insane. Like, are they just going to play like a whole bunch of games in a row then? I didn't analyze it too much, but I remember seeing that and I was like, oh, they're going to hate each other by the end of the season.
Yeah. So the second half of the season, obviously, it's going to be full of Milwaukee. So,
yeah.
Milwaukee. Yeah, I think we played Cleveland like a lot in like the last month too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the last 2 months we get our games in with Cleveland, so they're kind of a little later on, early and then later, so not too much in the middle, but
yeah, and then
weird.
Yeah, it is. So let's look at the promotional schedule a little bit. So for the home opener, we got the magnet giveaway, magnet schedule giveaway, and the LED rally towel. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the LED rally towel sounds exciting.
Is it like that towel that's? I should have asked them before I came on here. Is it like a light up towel? Like that would be really
That's what
cool.
I'm thinking.
That's what I hope.
Gotta get light up.
It has to be. Just like a red one. That would be so sweet. That would be your red out right there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Get the red. So we got the magnet giveaway as well, which is pretty typical. Slap that on the fridge. You good for the season.
Yeah, and then on Saturday, October 18th, the next game, we have the calendar giveaway, which obviously calendar. Then we got on a Sunday, November 2, we got the Jake Engel Memorial Dog Game. We got the fun school game in November 2, November 12th. And then Friday, November 14th, we have Military Appreciation. Saturday, November 22, Super Squad Night. That's the Dominic Shine bobblehead, which I'm real excited for that. He's needed a bobblehead for a long time now.
He needs everything. He deserves the whole entire world. That man he's super humble and he's really good. I'm glad that Dan Watson saw in him what I think all of us have seen, and that is he is actually more than just a hard hitter and a fighter. He's very skilled. And I remember seeing that when I was watching on, from afar, when I was covering that first season, I was like, what are they doing with him? Like, why is he down there? Why are they trying to make him an enforcer? He can be an enforcer, but he's always had this skill and you see it because they put him with the young guys and those young guys take things from him. And you're like, well, if they're learning skills from him, it's not because he's not skilled. It's obviously because he has that skill. So this year was so exciting to see that.
Yeah.
Then the Wings got into it.
Yeah, what stands out for me last year was that play in the playoffs where we were at home and he kind of held onto the puck through forever, and then he got it right to Michael Branson-Nygaard right in front. I mean, that just shows the dedication. I mean, in that point of the game, we were down, needed to get that point, and who else steps up like that besides Dominic Shine?
Right.
Amazing.
Yep. And Austin Watson.
Awesome.
And they were the two. Yeah, they were the two that showed up in that game. So.
And I mean, both of those guys, Shine especially, they play all these different roles. Leadership, enforcer. I mean, like you said, Shine has a lot more to his game than just punching people, and it really has developed in every single season he's been on the Griffins. His stats are improved. He gets more goals. He gets more assists. He gets more ice time. So really, for him to finally take that step to the Red Wings was so satisfying to me and Connor, people that have just watched him for years, and dude, why does this guy not get a chance? He's, all these kids are starting to surpass him, and they're probably up there why isn't Shine up here? He's got just as much juice in his game as these guys do. So I think he finally pulled the trigger on him and got him up there, and it's well deserved. And who knows, maybe he'll come in with a C on his jersey this year.
That would be great. The captaincy will be interesting. I'm very curious to see.
Because I haven't heard anything on Didier thus far.
I haven't either, which is interesting. I heard rumors from, well, I guess it's kind of a rumor, I guess you would say. I heard from people overseas that he was going to play overseas. And then nothing came to fruition. So I don't know if his family, if they're trying to figure out as a family what the next steps are, because there are people that are interested in him playing for their teams overseas. But that's a huge thing when you have family, especially with young kids. You just can't hop on a plane and be all right, see you in 6 months, love. Take care of the kids. You have to have a conversation.
Yep. Yeah, and it's not like he's some young prospect or anything. He's been in the system now. He joined the Griffins 2 years ago, but got that captaincy. He's really been a great influence on the ice, a great leader in the locker room. And if he did come back, I wouldn't mind. So
it'd be nice. I mean, he's not the best defenseman. He reminds me of like a Stefan Matteau. Like Stefan Matteau is not the best forward, but he's such a great leader, and they understand the game so well, and they're so good at explaining it that it makes the players around them feel more confident about how they're playing. So
yeah. So to continue on with the rest of the giveaways, we have the teddy bear toss on November 28th. We have the 30th anniversary celebration November 30th. So that's big one, 30 years of Griffins hockey. That'll be really fun.
that will be sweet. I'm curious to see what that's going to be like. And it's Thanksgiving weekend, so hopefully it'll be a lot of people.
Yeah, something special, something cool for the fans. It'll be pretty cool. So then we got the Red Kettle game on December 13th. The Hat Trick and Hoops night. Oh, God. ESPN going off.
Wait, is it important? Is it hockey related?
No, just football. So December 21st, right before Christmas, we have Hat Tricks and Hoops night. There's a really cool tank top giveaway with it's the Pistons jersey with the Griffin. It's really cool. Got that
so cool.
Fans are excited about that one.
Well, and Monsters fans are excited about that one. And I think there's going to be a lot of Monsters fans in the building. It's really the only time they're playing the Monsters, but it's also the only time really that they can come up. And I think there's at least 10 that I know of now, but there might be more. There might be more that plan on traveling up. Partially to see me. It's not just about the team.
We better call Griff. Get him at that door.
They'll probably schmooze them. They're so good at that with with people. They're all like, "Oh no, we love you guys too."
Yeah. So then we got the New Year's Eve game with the post-game fireworks, as they do every year. On December 31st, Saturday, January 17th, we have Old Time Hockey Night. They got a cool red hat with a Grand Rapids G on it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what that one's all about. Maybe some sort of link to the 100 centennial year for the Red Wings, possibly, but looks like
there better be a line brawl or a bench clearing brawl, because you can't call it Old Time Hockey Night and there being 0 fights.
Correct.
Like, I want to see Dan Watson and like Carl Taylor yelling at each other through the glass. Like, that's what I want.
Leaning over the benches. Yep.
Kosa getting his mitts off.
Yep.
Oh God, a goalie fight! I would elevate straight to heaven.
Yeah. Let's go.
I asked him during autographs last year. I was like, "So were you gonna fight Comesso?" I was like, "Are we gonna see you fight?" And he's like,
we'll see.
He's like, "I want to." I was like, "Heck yeah, dude."
Okay, so put in Kosa on Saturday, January 17th.
Yeah. So then we got February 15th. We got Sensory and Support Night. They got a wall flag, which is like a Griffins flag you can put on your wall. It's really cool. Then they got sold out Princess Night. It's sold out already. I'll tell you that much.
It's always sold out.
I'm usually here on Princess Night when I come in person, and it's always sold out.
It's a big one.
So and then March 13th, we got the Purple Game, which supports like cancer and everything. So it's a really good game. So that's a good one to attend. And then March 14th, Star Wars Night. Another sold out one usually.
Yep.
And then we got March 28th, the Top Gun Night, which is a Austin Watson bobblehead. So
yeah,
it's
that one's
sweet.
fun.
Have you guys seen it?
Yeah,
it's like
that
using his
really
teeth
fun.
too.
Yeah, he's got the aviators.
Yeah, I know that one's gonna be a hot commodity for sure. People want to get their Watson Top Gun shape.
Yep. And then to cap it off, we got Fan Appreciation Night on April 11th. That's usually the last home game of the year.
It
and then
is
on
the
top
last home game.
Yeah. And then on top of that, every Friday, $2 beer, $2 dogs, and yeah,
every Wednesday is a winning Wednesday.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We're playing Cleveland, right? We'll see.
I love my goal. So these two teams used to be super like, especially it was like from like 2013 to 2017. Those two teams were like super rivals. Not 2013 because yeah. My goal is to bring the hatred back between the two teams. I just keep like stoking the flames. Like I just like bring it back. Like I love a good rivalry, and the Monsters are rivals, I feel like, to everyone, but I think they need like one key rival, and I'm all for it being the Griffins.
I mean, it's like they're practically in our division. I mean, we play every other team like 8 times, and then like there's the Monsters who aren't even in our division. We play like 8 times
every year.
So it's like
they play so many different teams because of their location too. Getting to Cleveland's so easy. But
little bit of
Grand
Lake Erie.
Rapids should play more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But a little bit of Lake Erie, Lake Michigan rivalry for sure there.
Yes, I would. Oh my gosh, the Battle of the Great Lakes.
Yeah. I like that.
I have a friend who was starting to call it like the Shircliff Cup, and he was like, "Well, now that you don't cover both of them, you need to do the math and see who won the most games and give them a trophy."
Oh yeah.
I was like, I feel like that will get me in so much trouble, but I mean, I'm gonna do it. But
he probably won that one himself.
Right? I should just send a trophy straight to Hartford.
There you go.
To Trey. He would love that. He would love it so much. Oh, that's funny.
So we got within the promotions, they always do these special jerseys that they have throughout the season. How many jerseys are there this year, Connor?
I think there's like
6 of them. Okay.
I'm wondering, are they gonna drop the 30 jersey, or do they not have one?
Is there a patch?
I think the patch is on the jersey.
On it, but that's interesting. I feel like every other year jersey.
Yeah, they had one for the 25th, right? That was like the big logo with the 25
silver jersey.
I wonder if they're slowly getting things hyped for the 30th celebration. Maybe they'll be, but I feel like, I don't know. I should ask them about that. I should ask these questions. These are questions I should be asking about.
Yeah.
Forget about the players. Tell me more about your jersey schedule.
Yeah, let's go.
Well,
so it looks like we do have 6.
Okay. So
yeah,
what are we gonna go through? We're gonna just give the jerseys a quick ranking. I'd say quick 1 through 10. We'll go.
So starting off, we have the Military Appreciation Night. It kind of looks similar to one of the recent ones we had with the American flag blue and the stars on the shoulders, which I really do like. My thing with this one, I don't really like it. It kind of looks like it says GAG on the front of it instead of Grand Rapids Griffins GRG. It looks like it says GAG. But besides that, it's a really cool jersey.
Yeah, I think it looks good, but it does kind of look like that. I think they just need to work the R in the font a little better.
I'm giving it a solid 5 because I think it just looks too similar to the past. I want to see something new.
Agree.
Fresh.
I'll give it a 5 too, I think.
It's good. It's just from the standpoint of like something cool. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
I want to say it's
the one from a couple years ago was like a snow camo kind of thing. That one was really cool. So I think 5 is the right number for this one.
Yeah, so and then December 13th, we have the Red Kettle game. And this one's kind of interesting. It's like a black jersey with the Griffins written across it. It actually kind of looks like the pink jersey from last year. But yeah, I give this like a 5 too, personally.
Oh, I'm so mean. I give it like a 2. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know. Like, and it doesn't help that, you know, I grew up right outside of Chicago, so then I look at it and all I'm thinking is like the Chicago Bulls. And like,
Yeah, I could get that for sure. I'm. I think this red kettle one, right?
Why
Yeah.
are all the numbers on the back 23? I wish it was
who?
like 30 or 25 for the season.
Yeah, 25, 26. Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah, or like a nice 30. Like, why is
Yeah,
it
why isn't it just
23?
yeah, that makes sense.
Should be 30.
Okay.
Are they? Is this like an Easter egg? I am now going to be obsessed with the number 23 all season.
Yeah. You're asking the real questions here, Elaine. So yeah, the red kettle. I mean, most of the time we get like a solid red jersey out of the red kettle game. So I'm a little bit disappointed that this one's just black with red stripes. So yeah, I'll give it a 4.
So then we got the hat trick and hoops one, and that's the Pistons, like the old teal, old fashioned flaming horse Pistons jersey. So that one, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I think that thing's awesome.
Beautiful.
I gotta agree with you. I mean, it's they got the tailpipes on all the font on the Griffins lettering. It's pretty nice.
I just get really happy when I look at it. So it's like a 12 out of 10.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 23 out of 10.
Boom. Yeah.
23 out of 10.
This one's definitely got the fans excited, and it's definitely going to be a huge group at the auctioning off for that one.
And then
Oh,
next
yeah.
we got the line brawl night. We got old time hockey. It's red and it has a pretty cool looking griffin on there. I kind of like this one actually. I'm gonna give it another 10. I like it.
Oh, definite 10 out of 10. It has the old school vibe. It just, I don't know, it just feels like you look at it and you get nostalgic for old school hockey. Like I looked at it and the first thing I thought was line brawl. So like,
Yeah. I see like the winter classic kind of,
Yeah,
like the
yep.
Red Wings winter
Mhm.
classic kind of look. I like it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then it's got, for old time hockey, it's got the old time Griffin look on it. So I do like the look of that Griffin on there. It's pretty cool.
and the laces. I love a lace. As
Yeah.
long as it's the real lace.
No, I'm with you on that
lace.
one too. This one meets the mark at 10 out of 10. So let's go.
All right, then. So next we have City Connect jersey. It's like a blue and a red and a yellow. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm probably gonna give it a 3. I just not a fan of the color scheme, personally.
I think this one's all right. I kind of like the Calder being in the middle. It's a good look for Grand Rapids, people of Grand Rapids. The blue, it's kind of like the blue bridge. I give it a 7.
Okay, now that you're explaining, so because I'm not from here, so like I was like, it's all right. But when you said the Blue Bridge, I was like, oh, I love the Blue Bridge. So I give it. Then I was gonna give it like a 3 or a 4, but knowing that there's more of a city tie to it than I knew, that's like a 6, 7 to me. Because I like when things are very. It's like when the Indians changed to the Guardians. I was very hyped because it was so Cleveland coded. I like when things are that people in the city are like, oh, yay, that's so us. And other people outside the city are like, I don't get it. You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, I was a little confused why the Ice Hogs were Screw City for a little while.
Wait, why are they Screw City?
I guess they are like the #1 distribution place for screws and nuts and bolts and screws. And I guess that's why they are Screw City. So I learned that one last year.
That's actually really cool. Like when you explain, yeah, like that's cool. Well, okay then. I don't hate their jerseys as much as I used to.
So then the last one is the Purple Knight jersey, and honestly, it looks the same as the last 5 of them.
Yeah. I want something more. Something more.
Yeah, I could give it like a 5, straight across the board.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think the shield kind of works with the purple jersey, but I think like the lettering needs to be purple too. It needs like more purple. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And a number 30, not 20.
I would love to see the old time hockey logo also on the purple jersey. I
That'd be-
bet in like a white outline that would look really dope.
Yeah.
I bet that would look so cool.
Really, really cool.
It's just a cool logo in general.
Mhm.
You know, the logo work on these for the most part. Like I like the Calder City logo. I like the old timey logo. The Hoops and Hat Tricks logo. That's just insane work.
Yep.
You know, not everyone can get the logo right on things. Yeah, I'm a little. I'm a little like sometimes I'm a jersey snob for specialties because between the Toledo Walleye and the Cleveland Monsters, like some of their specialties are just like off the charts. So I was really afraid when they released these. I was like, I don't want to say bad things about this team I'm covering full time now. But I think that when four of the six are like phenomenal, I think that's good because some teams put out 6 really bad jerseys, and I'm like, wanna try that again?
Yeah.
And the 2 of them were really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to own like some of those. I need
Awesome.
to sell like my liver to get one of those Hoops and Hat Tricks one.
Yeah, I definitely want one of those.
Were you around for the Toasters night at all?
I wasn't there for the Toasters night. I have seen the Toasters nights in the wild because they're like people still talk. I mean, Nick Harrington and I talk about this all the time. Like people still are like, oh, hey, where can we get one? Like you go on eBay, they're like selling for hundreds. Yeah, like I saw them in Toledo. I saw some in Cleveland. I saw one in Chicago. I saw one just randomly on the street, like in another state that was not near this state. Like I was in New York. I was like in Chautauqua, New York. It's a beach town. And I saw the Toasters thing. I was like, what the heck? Like, where are you from?
Just fire off and they just take it the distance like that. Like I had no idea what we were walking into when they said Toasters night. You know, it's like
it grew on me for sure.
I was like, what is this? And then you get there and you're like, oh, this is it. Like this is the thing for the season. Like
they do have there's like a hoodie in the zone. I had it last year.
Oh, I need that hoodie. I think they should do it every once in a while. Like the Monsters do Lumberjacks night, and this year they're doing Barons night. And those things just like it does so well. So I think they could maybe do another Flying Toasters night or weekend.
They gotta bring it back.
Agreed.
They did way good.
Every year they should have one.
Yes. I'm down for it. Every game should just be like, is it this game? Is it not? Like no one would know when it is, right? Yeah. Like, that's how you build a bigger fan base. Like trick them in.
Yeah. Third mascot, that's a toaster.
Oh my goodness. Wait, we just work with like the Pop-Tarts from the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Gotta have a toaster Zamboni.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah.
That would be amazing. Oh
or
my
like
goodness.
The toaster's blimp.
Yeah.
That'd be
just dropping like Pop-Tarts out of the
yeah, with a parachute on it.
Oh my goodness.
All righty.
All right, so we're approaching an hour. If you got something to do, we can end now, or we can go and talk about Dan Watson and do whatever. It's up to you, really.
Let's talk about Dan Watson. He lives in Cleveland. You know, I'll do anything to talk about Cleveland.
Let's
awesome.
Go.
Dan Watson. So since he's come here, I think he immediately turned the team around, and he's been amazing. What do you got to say about him?
I think the same thing. First of all, I want to say this. I love Ben Simon. I think he is a good coach. I think he got put into some precarious situations like COVID. That in itself is a tough thing to coach through. A lot of coaches have talked about how it was a struggle during COVID because there was a lot of unknowns. It messed with a lot of players, especially the older ones, a little bit mentally because they're like, is this the sign that I have to retire? Is this not? Like, what are we? So when you started losing, you get more stressed and it just didn't, work. I think that the wings in them weren't always playing to the same system, even though they were trying to, but things weren't working up top. So they weren't working down there. And I think it was just a bad batch for everyone. It was eventually going to end. And you could see the writing on the wall all season. This was probably his last season. So then Dan comes in and he got players that were still there were the ones that really wanted to be there. Ben had some players who had some attitudes that did not want to be down when they came down, who then got, left and still talk bad about Detroit. There was a whole weird mess of things. And the vibes are different. They're very similar. They are very similar as people and as coaches, but there's just this other level of Dan Watson and how he coaches and how he looks to see what it is that you're good at, not just what was told they were good at. So the greatest example is Dominic Shine and Austin Watson. He looked at both of them and said, "Oh, that's cute. You think you're just going to punch people? Think you're going to stay on the fourth line? No way. That's not happening here." And he looks at the guys and they say, "I think I'm good at this." And he goes, "Okay, I also think you're good at this. So let's give both of them a try. We're going to keep trying them. I'm going to try and pull this greatness out of you. And what works, and we'll go that way." I love the way he coaches Gabriel Seeger. I love Gabriel Seeger. People don't talk about him enough. He's so good in the face-off. Yeah, if you guys are there, so you see it, and he's not in. Yeah. So I think that he is so good for this team because he's looking at the things. It's not just about the Detroit prospects. I think for a while they were telling Ben, it's about the prospects. It's about the prospects. And they might have said that to Dan Watson. I don't know. But I feel like Dan's the kind of person that's okay, but I have a whole team of players. It's not just prospects.
A whole team and a whole city here.
When Nate Danielson came in.
Yeah.
We had our team was vibing. We were doing good 2 years ago. Nate Danielson comes in, he's one of the hottest players out there, and he comes in, plays for a game, and obviously he wasn't the answer. So Dan Watson stuck with. It's crazy.
Yeah, put him on the bench for the playoffs. Yeah.
You know what? That's you got to do that sometimes, right?
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, we saw Danielson, and he came into the next season, did great, moved on, led. Actually ended up with more points than Casper in his first full season. So it's sometimes you just gotta get him into the system, let him play a little bit. But it seems like Dan Watson has a little bit more of that communication aspect, maybe a little more light energy, something that's when he approaches you, it's not a bad thing. It's he's approaching you about how to make you better. It seems like he has this connection with some of these players, and he's really I like the energy he brings. He's not a big yeller on the bench, but we've seen him yell on the bench when things go wrong. So I like the energy we get out of him. And yeah, I am kind of curious because he's been here. This will be his third season. I believe he's got, let me get the numbers real quick. He's got 100 and, where is it? Where'd it go? He's got 144 games, got 74 wins, 52 losses, 12 overtime losses, 6 shootout losses for Grand Rapids. So a nice big 74 leading with wins. And I think this year, being that he's had his system, he's kind of got a familiar group of players with him again this year. I'm kind of expecting him to take another step this year and kind of coach us right back into the playoffs. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to do that with the squad he's got.
Definitely. I would say 2 years before he goes up to the NHL, at least in this system. If he were to go deep in the playoffs this year, like deep, if they made it to the finals or right before the finals, I think another NHL team would scoop him up as an assistant.
Oh, yeah.
I think they definitely would. He's already being watched across the world, not just in the NHL. Like there are teams in Europe that are very much looking at him, seeing what he did in Toledo, and then seeing what he's doing here. They're like, oh, we're gonna. I mean, everyone always has their eyes on original 6 teams to begin with, so at least he has that, in his favor. But he's just. It helps that he had Toledo and the guys knew kind of what to expect from him when he came in, because guys that are up now have played for him. They've had him coach, like Kosa had him. Some of these guys have had him. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll be in the AHL for too much longer, because I think he understands all the aspects of what an NHL team would need to succeed, between making sure your veterans are held accountable and your young guys are being developed. And what people often forget is, even though the NHL isn't a developmental league, they still need to be developed when they're up there. I don't care if you're Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, Sidney Crosby, you still need to be developed. You're never going to be perfect. I mean, maybe Sidney Crosby, but like it's you are never going to be the perfect athlete. No one will ever be, because humans just aren't perfect humans, and they are always going to need to be coached.
Yep.
And so I feel like he's the kind of coach that understands that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, always leading and like striving to make the players better than what they are, because there's always room for improvement. And yeah, I've kind of, given him 2 years. That's unfortunate for us if he was to leave in 2 years, obviously, but you'd hope he would stay with the system at that point, maybe move up as like an assistant coach, and it's keeping him with this solid group of prospects that he's been working with for the past 3 years. I mean, and I think that would be ideal. Just keep him in, like maybe someday he takes the head coaching job for Detroit Red Wings. That would be a cool story.
It would be really cool, especially, I mean, I think the coolest story, so I look at things too from a writer's standpoint of like, what's a cool story to tell? And I would love to one day tell the story of him being in the NHL, coaching all of these players that he coached in Toledo and in Grand Rapids. And I would say 2 to 3 years, that is kind of hopefully what it would be. And as I'm sure Stevie Yzerman also looks at it that way. Like, if you've coached them from the ECHL up, and you can have them, you have that coach in the NHL, like you do it. I mean, I know people talk a lot of crap about CBY, but I think he is really good at moving people up that need to be moved up. I think I don't always understand some of the choices he makes. And then later I understand them, partially because he's so quiet about it. But I don't think people understand what they have in him, and how he is not always looking at now. He's looking at the future. I wish maybe he would look a little bit more at what they could do for Grand Rapids to help with that future, and maybe even Toledo to help with that future. But I know that there's other things that are beyond sometimes their control to be able to do that. I mean, contracts limits in general, you have to, it's a kind of a tough balance, and you can bring players and say, hey, I want you to sign with Toledo. I want you to sign with the Griffins. And if maybe eventually you'll be able to sign a contract with us, it's just, there also has to be people part of those teams or who have the money to get those guys to sign there, because sometimes they're not going to want to play for like league minimum or anything like that. So, you couldn't bring someone like, say, a Rocco Grimaldi to the Griffins and say, hey, we're going to sign you here. He would be like, You're not gonna be able to pay me the money.
Right, yeah.
So
And I think some of the I believe the paper moves rule was kind of evacuated. So now, like, if you were to put on paper that a player is moving down, they actually have to play a game now. They can't just say that for contract reasons anymore.
I hate that rule. I don't know why that rule came about. I bet there was like one AHL team or something that was just like pissed off about it, and like, or an NHL team. There's probably like one person who was mad about it. I can't see people being so mad about it unless it really screwed over someone's contract or bonus. Like that's all
Yeah.
for a player. Like that's all.
Yeah. I'd imagine that's kind of what it has to come down to is, I think some of these young prospects don't want to get shorted if they're assigned to an NHL contract and they have to go down and make AHL wage for a little bit. I think a lot of the time they don't want to deal with that anymore. So if they don't have to go down, if they actually have to play a game, they're not going to do it as much.
Yeah, and I think it stinks though because it's gonna hurt the AHL teams right before like roster freezer when you can actually put someone down there, because some of these guys, like sometimes the NHL team will paper them right before that freeze towards the end of the season so that they know for sure they can play in the playoffs, and then they bring them back up after that time.
Right.
And then now you're hurting development, right? Now you're hurting development because of this rule. So you either force them to play and then your NHL team is like missing a player or missing, like it becomes so much more complicated and affects so many more things. And I could see some AHL teams just not getting the help that they need, like the Griffins, because of that. It's
I totally hear you.
Yeah, from a minor sense. Yeah.
I mean, anything could happen. I mean, I'm sure coaches and managers are going to find a way to mitigate this the best they can as the year goes on. But yeah, I think being able to have those players, drop down right before the playoffs so you can actually bring them down when your season's over for the big club and they need somewhere to go and play, send them down to the farm system would be the perfect place. But if they can't make that move, that development's going to be lost.
Right. Or maybe this is just the end of the Hershey Bears reign in the playoffs.
Maybe that was the ticket for them.
Turns out it was every team. Every team.
Right. Plot twist, every team is now suffering.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
All righty.
Awesome. Yeah. So,
got anything else, Connor?
I don't think so. I mean, thank you so much for taking the time to come talk to us. It's been a blast.
Oh yeah, no problem. I, for the most part, love going on podcasts. I love talking about this silly little league and this silly little sport. It's fun. And I'm big on, like I said, I think I said earlier, it might have been off air. I'm just big on creating community. I don't think it's as much fun to do anything in general alone. Yeah. I like having relationships with people, so it just makes it more fun. Plus, I can see the game from different eyes because you can't see everything from your eyes can only move so fast. But different people pick up on different things, and then sometimes I can go back and watch and see if that's what they saw or if it's not on camera. Like I make community with opposing teams fans too, partially because I just love people, but also because they can tell me something that's not on the feed, because you don't want a bird's eye view. Some teams do a bird's eye view. Please stop doing that. I do not want that. But for the most part, you're following the puck or the play, so you don't see how the defense is playing, like ever, when you watch only on television. So see, that's when you depend on the fans a little bit to be like, hey, how is that defense out there? Tell me what's going on the back half. Tell me what's going on in the D zone while we were in the O zone. Like, what was going on? So
have an eye in perspective, right? And sharing perspectives of other people's opinions, and it's always good to kind of get some varying opinions, so you can kind of match it up with your own and actually get an
Right.
opinion of what this organization is going to look like in the future. So
Exactly. I like when people, well, hold on. I don't want to say I like when people tell me I'm wrong, because sometimes they are wrong about me being wrong. But but if they're having like a real conversation with me and they say like, hey, no, you're wrong and this is why, and we can have a conversation about it. Like one guy was trying to tell me, he had a very lovely conversation with me about why pulling the goalie is okay. It's like pulling the goalie is one of my least favorite things when the best player on the ice is the goalie. Like other times I get it. I love it when a team pulls them at like 4 minutes in the game just to mess with people. I'm like, yes, do that. But a lot of people were attacking me for it. They're like, you don't know hockey. I do know hockey. In this situation, I just really hate it. And this guy had this lovely, like, we spanned like 2 days where he was trying to really break down why he feels it's important, even in that situation. And he was like really working hard, like showing me like tons of examples and breaking it down. And I was like, I love this. I still don't agree with you, but I love this. Because he genuinely was passionate and cared about it. I mean, I hate it less now that I see it from how he was saying it, but I still hate it in that specific scenario. Like,
yep, we're losing by 2, 4 minutes left. Get him out of there. Let's pull him.
Right. Or when it's like, yeah, when you're losing by 2, he's the best one. He's been lights out. The defense has been atrocious. And you're like, you know what? Let's just pull him out for a minute. And I'm like, or you keep him in and then just run all forwards because the defense is basically playing as forwards.
I've been the D man instead of the goal.
Right. Just start swapping out places at that point. Like, as the goaltender, if he can play defense.
Play at the blue line instead.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to talk later this season too. Maybe talk about Thursday before we play them or something like that. Or
yeah, I could give a great preview on Cleveland because I'm still going to be watching them from afar because they're my babies. Sorry, everyone.
Hey, we get it. We get it. You gotta, stick with your heart.
Yeah, well, okay, so Trent Vogelhuber, head coach, he played for the Ohio AAA Blue Jackets. He started it with a bunch of other, like Clark McLean, Doug McLean's son, and I interned for the Ohio AAA Blue Jackets after Trent had left, of course. So that's like a huge deal for the program. And for me, it was like surreal covering them, having him be the head coach. And when he was playing there, a whole bunch of AAA Blue Jackets kids had been there when I was there who had been in the program at the same time I was interning. So that was like extra wild. So I'm always like, if Trent is the head coach, I'm going to be just always all in. I mean, I've always loved the Monsters, but I'm going to be extra all in because it's so cool to watch this man create so much history in Ohio, helping start a youth program, being the first team of that youth program that helped really grow hockey in Central Ohio a little bit more, to being such a force as part of Miami's hockey, being the first one from, I think, like the Columbus area to be drafted by the Blue Jackets. Like it's so much Ohio history and it's so cool. And like, it just makes me so excited. And I'm sure I'll feel that way about the Griffins eventually, but because I lived in Ohio for so long, like 20 some years, I have that connection with that team. And so I'll always be all in on them. So I hope Griffins fans don't hate me for that.
Yeah, there's plenty of Griffins fans that feel the same way about our team. So
I'm sure. Well, like everyone's from Michigan on this team, right? Basically.
Oh, pretty much.
Right. If you're from Michigan, you probably have a chance. Yeah. I love it. It's great. It creates a connection though. Like
it does.
It fills seats from a marketing standpoint too. Like it fills seats to be like, oh, Austin Watson's from Michigan. Oh my gosh, Dominic Shine's from Michigan. Like
MAZUR.
Yeah. it gives you that like connection. So from a marketing standpoint too, it's great, and it's even better that they don't suck.
It makes a difference. Yeah, I mean, you saw what Carter Mazur did when he went to Detroit and he had his debut. Like half of the bottom section was all his fans, so
right,
it definitely makes it.
It does, for sure.
But all right, Elaine, give us a shout out. Where do you want the fans to find you at? Let us know about your podcast a little bit here, and we'll kind of get this wrapped up.
So you can find me on gracedbyrain.com. I have a sports section there. I have for my podcast, which I talk about a lot of things on the podcast. I have some creative writing stuff. I do have a book coming out. I just sent it to the printers today. It is not about hockey, so sorry. It is about a hockey boy who broke my heart. So those French Canadians, I tell you.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's where you can find me. My socials are, I'm on all the social media as I'm a rain dancer. Some of them I'm on as Graced by Rain. But mostly it's just I'm a rain dancer. If you're looking for just hockey talk or just sports talk, I'm really sorry. Like, I just don't live my life that way. It's everything. And if you're a big Lions fan, just remember I grew up right outside of Chicago. So I'm a very big Bears fan. I'm a very big Ben Johnson fan. So I'm very sorry in advance for all of those tweets, and I've been going on the radio talking about the Bears too. So like, very sorry.
You might have some fighting words about the Cleveland Browns because I'm a Bengals fan. So
I don't even like the Browns anymore because of some, not just Deshaun Watson, but how they doubled down on it. I just couldn't. I had to take a break. So I'm full custody to Mama Bears.
There you go.
But my mom's a Bengals fan. See, my mom loves all the teams that like were rivals to, We lived in Chicago. Yeah. We lived in Chicago, and she's freaking talking about the Red Wings all the time. I'm like, why do you hate me? We moved to Northeast Ohio, and she was walking around in like a Ben Roethlisberger jersey because he's from Western Ohio, where she's from. I'm like, why do you hate me? And then like, she's a huge Reds and Bengals fan. I'm like, this is just bad scenarios for me, Mom. Like, people are going to hate me.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So, but she's a Cavs fan. Don't let her lie to you and say she's a Pistons fan, because she's not. Okay, I just want to put that on the record there. Like,
oh man.
Don't let her fool you. If anyone ever meets her and she's like, I love all Detroit. No, she doesn't. She does not.
A lie, huh?
She hates the
Pistons. Oh man. But yeah, that's where you can find me. So that was the short answer. Where you can find me is gracedbyrain.com.
Okay. Yeah, that works out great. Again, we appreciate you coming on and talking all sorts of hockey with us today. Really gave us some great content to work with, so I appreciate it. And we definitely wish you luck with your podcast, your LLC, and your book.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It was a blast talking. Make this community stronger for sure. Let's do it.
Yes, that's what I want.
Get that red out going too.
Yes.
All righty, Elaine. Again, thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you, Elaine Shircliff, for coming on here. We really appreciate it. It's fun talking to other people involved with the Griffins. We haven't got to do that very much, so it's really cool to start to get involved with more of the Griffins community. So thank you very much, Elaine, for coming on.
Yeah, and make sure everyone go check out her show. She has a very interesting perspective and very down-to-earth show, so make sure you go check that out.
Yeah, and that's called Graced by Rain.
All right, that should get us into the penalty box, and then we can go ahead and close us out of here.
Welcome to the penalty box. This is the last segment of every single episode of the Griffins Pipeline podcast. We like to end the episode on a fun note, maybe step out of hockey and put the biggest idiot of the week in the penalty box for a 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or game misconduct. Kyle, who are you throwing into the sin bin?
Well, we've been tracking this case along the way. So P. Diddy here, only getting 4 years and 2 months of a sentence. So I gotta throw the judge in this. This sentencing just altogether is only getting it's getting a 2-minute minor, but it's a very underwhelming sentence for P. Diddy, who for all those affected, I'm sure this is gonna be
not good. Not good to say the least.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to say too much though, because you end up on a hit list, and in 5 years when he gets out, I was someone that said something. So I'm just gonna move on here. 2-minute minor.
Yep, Kyle from the Griffins Pipeline podcast. All right. So who I'm throwing in the penalty box? Jake Paul, fighter, boxer, YouTube sensation, is pulled over in Detroit for doing an 80 in a 45 mile per hour. Cutting across 2 lanes, cop sees him, goes and pulls him over. Gets pulled over, a cop finds a gun under his seat, and then as the cop asks him about the gun, he immediately refrains to blaming YLG Twan, a Detroit rapper, and straight up snitching. So we'll see how that unfolds. I mean, obviously, everyone's heard the saying, but you're not supposed to snitch or bad things happen.
Yeah, I think 80 in a 40 is a little much.
Yeah, I mean, alone for the driving, that's a 5-minute major, and then snitching, come on, no one likes a snitch. So
possession of a firearm, buddy, not good.
Yep, this might be one fight Jake Paul will not win. But all right, let's wrap this episode up.
All right, just got to keep everyone updated. The Griffins start their season Friday, October 10th. Make sure you get down there. Start their season Friday, October 10th.
In Texas.
We'll be playing the Texas Stars. Don't miss it. It'll be on Flow TV. Is your best chance to find it, unless you are really good at sailing the high seas. So we'll be following that one. We'll be back, hopefully, with a game preview or a Texas Stars preview. Kind of give us an update on how the Texas Stars have changed throughout the season, including their acquisition of Cross Hannes. So
this is a big revenge game for the Griffins and for Cross Hannes. So it'll be a real interesting thing. And we're hoping to find someone to come on and talk about the Texas Stars and kind of how they're going to do this season and what kind of dudes to watch out for. So we're going to do that, hopefully. And we will see you.
Yeah, so stay tuned. And by the next time you hear from us, hopefully it'll be Griffins time.
Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Red Wings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like and follow us on Facebook and X, or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.
NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next one. Because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first-time touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Here's the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Maybe you're just getting that feeling that Jared Goff is going to throw Amon-Ra St. Brown that next touchdown. Or maybe you think that Detroit defense is going to stack up against the Joe Burrow-less Bengals. If I had that feeling, I'd take that to DraftKings Sportsbook. And don't forget, you can bet on the Griffins too. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. Fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum -500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.